instances of paranormal phenomena have been reported in this desolate place. Events that may reflect the area's tragic past. Whatever they are, whatever you call them, ghosts, spirits, shades, specters, apparitions, there is not a corner of the world they do not inhabit.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Other Dangerous Podcast, where we talk all things paranormal. I'm Ken James, and this is Jason McKittrick.
Hey, folks.
And if it can haunt, howl, or dwell in the dark, we want to talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
And tonight, we are talking about that slippery fucker in Scotland, the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, we are. Or more affectionately known as Nessie.
Now, there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of fans. This might have the most fans out of the cryptids.
Fans, and I would even say devotees.
Right, good word.
Because there are people who are really... We have a magic pumpkin here tonight, folks. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But yeah, devotees, people that are like, in love with it, maybe even.
You know what? I mean, Rule 34, so, I'm sure somebody loves the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, all right. Someone must love the Loch Ness Monster, indeed. But tonight, I will be bringing you the jump scare. All right, thanks, Ken. So, this week's jump scare is actually one of my personal experiences that I had recently. It's a little weird, and it's been a long time since I've seen something like this. Me and my wife, we were just getting home from work in our apartment, and I was changing. I think I wasn't going to Muay Thai that night. I was just changing into my loungewear after work, because business cash. So I'm taking my shoes off, and I look up in her hallway, and I just see from the bedroom where she was in, getting changed, into her closet in the hallway.
Okay.
In the hallway, just a see-through half of a person, like the top all the way down, kind of half of it.
And this is an additional time.
This is the one I was telling you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this didn't happen after. This is
okay.
No, yeah, this I looked up and I ended up calling Jay, but it literally walked and I saw it. And no, she was already working at her desk, because I looked over, I was like, babe, and she looked at it, I was like, someone just walked out of the bedroom into the closet. And she was like, I know, that's what I see.
Yeah.
So I was like, so then I
So it was washing you shower or get changed or whatever?
No, it was probably in the bedroom waiting for me to go in there.
Okay.
To, get comfy.
Okay.
But it was it just walked into the closet, and I was freaked out, so immediately I go to the bedroom and I call you, and I'm like, dude, and you're like, yeah, whatever, you fucking weirdo, shut up.
That's the exact opposite of what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
No, I was very supportive of your hallucinations. No, that's. Hey, man, this shit's everywhere, right?
Yeah, it is. And I was thinking to myself, was I just do I not pay attention? You know what I mean? Because it was just a thing. I was like, oh, doing my shoe, and it was there. I caught it, the right time, because I've seen it when we were recording episodes back in the day.
Yeah.
Via Zoom, and I would see it and fucking that was a person. It wasn't my wife, because she's not home yet.
Right.
And spooky, but that's this week's jump scare. Just a little personal spookiness.
We're at the personal ones because people, please send in your spooky stories, your jump scares. We need them. We're at the bottom of our barrel. I think we have one or two to the side.
Yeah.
But we're running out. I know we've been a little spotty in our posting, but we're back on track.
Yeah.
And hopefully some people can record some ones.
Yeah, there's some people out there that we were here and want to record their episodes, and we'll gladly.
Yeah.
Gladly.
Even if you think it's insane, we want to hear it.
Yeah. I just told you I saw a fucking invisible person.
Yeah.
And I host a podcast.
Oh, right there, Ken.
Yeah. So, Loch Ness Monster. Oh, wait a second.
Oh.
Something just came across the Other Dangerous Podcast news desk.
Whoa, I thought it was a flaming skull. Fuck!
Jesus, come on. You gotta say Peter James. Peter James.
I'm coming through.
We good?
No.
I'm good.
How many times? Peter James first.
True. I got caught up. Your snazzy shirt just,
Yeah, you know what? I was, because I've been editing and, doing everything with it. And I was looking, I just been staring at the drabness, and I was like,
2 black shirts?
yeah, I was like, I gotta lighten this fucker up. I went full Weird Al Yankovic or Jim Hopper.
Okay.
From Predator, not from Stranger Things.
So you want to be a skinned corpse hanging from a tree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
No, but yeah, I was like, let me add some color. Oh shit, no, I forgot. This just came across the other day's podcast news desk. It's another haunted headline.
Haunted headline.
Thanks, Ken.
Hey, you're welcome, Jay. Well, so this week's haunted headline is Fossil Find Tantalizes Loch Ness Monster Fans. A plesiosaurus went extinct 66 million years ago. But evidence that the long-necked reptiles lived in fresh water, not just oceans, has offered hope to Nessie enthusiasts.
Keep going.
Yeah?
And?
Well, in London, millions of years before the first alleged sighting of the Loch Ness Monster, populations of giant reptiles swam through Jurassic seas in areas that are now Britain. Known as plesiosaurus, these long-necked creatures that grow up to 40 feet long were thought to have dwelled exclusively in oceans. But a discovery published in a paper last week by researchers in Britain and Morocco added weight to the hypothesis that some Loch Ness Monster enthusiasts have long clung to. The plesiosaurus lived not just in the seas, but in fresh water too. That could mean they reasoned excitedly that Nessie, who is sometimes described as looking a lot like a plesiosaur, really could live in Loch Ness, a freshwater lake.
Well, number one, that tells me that A, we need to get Jeremy Wade on it.
Right.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
And B, that I think we should base tonight's episode on the Loch Ness Monster. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Right
all
there.
I didn't know that this headline was going to come through.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it just came across the news desk, man.
It's always coming through.
Yeah.
I'm coming through.
You're always welcome, buddy.
Yeah. Soon to be here. Soon to be right there. Yeah. Anyway. So Jay, the Loch Ness Monster. Got anything on him?
Not
Or
personally.
Her, or her, we don't.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about these, elusive creatures. It's always posited as, oh, there's one running out there, but it's like, well, that makes no sense because then it would have to be like an immortal creature. But the Loch Ness Monster, as we said in the beginning, affectionately known as Nessie, it's a creature of Scottish folklore originally, and then it's said to inhabit the famous Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. It is often described as large, long-necked, and with one or more humps protruding from the water. Popular interest and belief in the creature has varied since it was brought to worldwide attention in 1933. Even evidence of its existence is anecdotal, with a number of disputed photographs and sonar readings. As with all of these creatures, the scientific community explains alleged sightings of the Loch Ness Monster as hoaxes, wishful thinking, and the misidentification of mundane objects. Like logs and
Or
paper bags.
a dog
and
with a stick in its mouth.
Right. The pseudoscience and subculture of cryptozoology. Ooh, throwing shade there. This has placed
Subculture.
has placed particular emphasis on the creature. See, that's not nice. Now, what I like about Loch Ness is, and what kind of like when I was a kid, researching this and hearing the stuff about it, reading the books, is that like the first sighting is back in like the 500s.
Yeah.
Yeah, by like an Irish saint. It's kind of interesting.
Are there? They're Irish saints?
There are.
Wow.
So the earliest report of the monster comes from the year 565. There was this Irish monk known as Saint Columba, and he was staying in the land of the Picts, the tattooed people. That's where we get the word picture from.
Ah.
You're welcome, folks. You're welcome. I didn't even read that. I just knew that.
Yeah.
With his companions,
It's not in his notes.
when he encountered local residents burying a man by the River Ness, they explained that the man was swimming in the river when he was attacked by a water beast that mauled him and dragged him underwater despite their attempts to rescue him by boat. Columbus and a follower to swim across the river. I can't pronounce that name. It's too much. It's
we've been doing a lot of that, like pronunciating names, and I've been butchering them. So
yeah. The beast approached him, but Columba made the sign of the cross and said, "Go no further. Do not touch the man. Go back at once." The creature stopped as if it had been pulled back with ropes, quote unquote, and fled. And Columba's men in the picks gave thanks for what they perceived as a miracle.
heavenly ropes.
Heavenly ropes, man. Shooting rope. No, wait. Same thing? No? Okay. Believers in the monster point to this story set in the River Ness rather than the loch itself as evidence for the creature's existence as early as the 6th century. Skeptics question the narrative's reliability, noting that water beast stories were extremely common in medieval stories, and it recycles a common motif attached to a local landmark. So, they're saying, no, it's just nonsense. Like, areas like to have monsters because they're fun to draw in their Bibles, and, that's it. So, that's the origin of the story.
Right. Saint Columba, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy,
using his powers.
Yeah, he's got powers. The sign of the cross. He was like,
doing some Castlevania shit. He fucking takes that creature down.
Right.
Like, he shoots ropes on it, and then it. Whatever, man. The ropes came out.
Yeah, the ropes were there. They grabbed them.
Yeah. The creature was disgusted after it got rope shot on it.
An Irish guy roped me?
Yeah.
No one likes that.
No. He wasn't a saint yet at that point, so I wonder maybe these were his, lesser days. I don't know.
That's what got him his sainthood, his battle with Nessie.
Yeah. One dude was in the back, he was like, "Holy ropes!"
Yeah.
And then, and they're like, "Oh, they were holy ropes?"
Yeah. They're like, and then they went to the church, and they're like, "You have to hear about Saint Columba."
Yeah.
These fucking holy ropes.
Yeah. He shot ropes all over the creature, and they were like,
hi.
Invisible holy ropes. Because,
Yeah. Right.
He was that guy.
Yeah.
So this story was probably repeated and
It was
repeated.
like Peter North, for God.
Wow.
You started with the ropes thing, man.
I didn't make it specific. It's fine. It's all good. We're here to have fun.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that there's not that many sightings in between, like that main one in 565, and then we fast forward to 1871, where it's like, yeah. This one gets me because it's like in October 1871, D. Mackenzie, they don't have his first name, D-Bag Mackenzie, reportedly saw an object resembling a log or an upturned boat wriggling and churning up the water, moving slowly at first before disappearing at a faster speed. The account was not published until 1934, when Mackenzie sent his stories in a letter to Rupert Gould shortly after popular interest in the monster increased.
Rupert Gould, that sounds like a shiesty lawyer. Hey, it's me, Rupert Gould. You got Loch Ness stories? We'll get them out there. Come on. I'll sue your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, where's these holy ropes?
Yeah, I'm here on the holy ropes. Well,
Ask my wife about my ropes.
Yeah.
In 1888, Freemason Alexander MacDonald cited a large stubby-legged animal surfacing from the lake and propelling itself within 50 yards of the shore where MacDonald stood. MacDonald reported his sightings to Loch Ness water bailiff Alex Campbell. I guess that's kind of almost like a harbor master or something. Maybe something
Sure.
like that.
Water bailiff. I like that.
Yeah. And described the creature as looking like a salamander.
I think he was just playing Pokemon Go.
In 1888.
Yeah.
I think he was just hammered. He's probably pissing in the lake. What the fuck is that?
And it's a dog.
Yeah, he pissed on a dog's face.
Yeah.
All right. He didn't shoot ropes though, which is fine.
It's gonna be the theme, huh?
Maybe.
Always have one. We always have one.
Maybe since you said it is, now it isn't. All right.
Good.
1933. Modern interest.
This is the one that it took off, right?
I think so. Modern interest in the monster was sparked by a sighting on the 22nd of July, 1933, when George Spicer, they called him, his friends called him Spicy, and his wife saw a most extraordinary form of animal cross the road in front of their car. They described the creature as having a large body, about 4 feet high and 25 feet long, a long, wavy, narrow neck, slightly thicker than an elephant's trunk, and as long as the width of the road. So that's a sizable beast.
Yeah.
They saw no limbs. So it's almost like an actual serpent.
Yeah, it's like a serpent.
Yeah. It lurched across the road towards the loch 20 yards away, leaving a trail of broken undergrowth in its wake. Spicer described it as the nearest approach to a dragon or prehistoric animal that I've ever seen in my life.
See, I like that story.
I do. And as having a long neck which moved up and down in the manner of a scenic railway. So I guess it was like, it was going maybe like that. Yeah.
And yeah, like...
Or was its head going like this as it was going?
Probably both.
Interesting.
Because it's scenic, you know?
Yeah. No, I got it. It had an animal in its mouth and had a body that was fairly big with a high back, but if there were any feet, they must have been of the web kind. And as for a tail, I cannot say, as it moved so rapidly, and when we got to the spot, it had probably disappeared into the loch. Right? So there it is. There's the big sighting. Now that says to me, you know, that could be an anaconda or something. I mean,
right.
Not that's Scotland.
That's one. It's super similar to one of in the last 15 years, one of the more credible of the videos that's out there, or the sightings they've seen. The sightings that people said they have seen.
Sightings that have occurred.
Right. But yeah, so there's the one video where you get the wake, you know, and it looks kind of like serpentine.
Yeah.
And it's really large, and the guy's far away.
Yep.
And then there's another one that's very similar, but continue, sir.
Oh yeah, so, no. I'm just saying that I love it.
Yeah.
On August 4th of 1933, the Courier published a report of Spicer's sighting. This sighting triggered a massive amount of public interest and an uptick in alleged sightings, leading to the solidification of the actual name Loch Ness Monster. It has been claimed that sightings of the monster increased after a road was built along the loch in early 1933, bringing workers and tourists to the formerly isolated area. However, Binns has described this as the myth of the Lonely Loch, as it was far from isolated before then due to the construction of this major canal. In the 1930s, the existing road by the side of the loch was given a serious upgrade.
Right, so you're, one, upping traffic in the area, foot and, just people around there, and also you're converting natural terrain where this thing used to lurk, Probably comes out of the loch, goes doing little hunts around there.
Eats a few people.
Well,
maybe children.
See, and two, I also like the idea of the serpentine version of it. Like you'd see in the pictures of the sea creatures that have like the,
the frills.
Yeah, the frills up here, and it's like, it's reared up.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like all versions.
Yeah.
I wish all version existed.
Right. At some point, I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Marine reptiles of ancient origin. Yeah, absolutely.
In the days of yore.
Yes. Hugh Gray, 1933. His photograph was taken near Foyers on the 12th of November, 1933. Was the first photograph alleged to depict the monster. It was slightly blurred, as they are, and it has been noted that if one looks closely, the head of a dog can be seen. Gray had taken his Labrador for a walk that day, and it is suspected that the photograph depicts his dog fetching a stick from the loch.
Right.
Others have suggested that the photograph depicts an otter or a swan. The original negative was lost, unfortunately. However, in 1963, Maurice Burton came into possession of 2 lantern swans.
Big Mo.
Contact positives from the original negative, and when projected onto a screen, they revealed an otter rolling at the surface in characteristic fashion. 1934. January 5th, a motorcyclist, Arthur Grant, claimed to have nearly hit the creature while approaching Abriacan. It's near the northeastern end of the loch. Loch just means lake in Scottish, if you didn't know.
Abriacan, that sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Or a type of exotic nut.
I like that. Oh yeah, you go to the store. It's like I got the cashews, the Abriacans. I got the.
You can eat the fucking Abriacans. Yeah. I don't want the peanuts. I don't want the cashews. I want the Abriacans.
You got the peanuts. I want the Abriacans. How the fuck it?
At about 1 a.m. on a moonlit night, according to Grant, it had a small head attached to a long neck. The creature saw him.
Oh shit!
All right, and crossed the road back to the loch. Do you think it saw him and ran, or locked eyes and
Yes, that's the one.
It
did that. It saw him. He looked, and the guy's and it was like.
Grant, a veterinary student, you good?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Described it as a cross between a seal and a plesiosaur.
A seal
And a plesiosaur.
A plesiosaur.
So let's think plesiosaur, but with blubber?
Was it singing Kiss from a Rose?
Yes.
It was like, there's someone Jackers can tell you.
Well, if you... So, like, in Scottish culture, there's the... What was it? The selkie? Which are they're seals, but they turn into humans. So, like...
Right.
So, if they get... If we're in Scotland and they're talking about seals, it automatically, I think, puts that, like... that folklore kind of, like, spin on it.
Sure, it has the mysticism.
Yeah.
Mysticism.
Yeah.
Oh, my second beer.
There's a cool cartoon kids movie. It's called Song of the Sea. It's about selkies. If you haven't checked it out,
I will.
It's actually really good. I had to watch it 150 times because it was Nora's favorite movie, so it was on every day for like a year. Sometimes 3 times a day. Anyway, he said he dismounted and followed it to the loch, but saw only ripples. No ropes. Grant produced a sketch of the creature that was examined by zoologist Maurice Burton, who stated it was consistent with the appearance and behavior of an otter.
Big mouth.
Yep. He's here to just ruin the fun.
Yeah.
And they just show him anything. He doesn't read it. Otter.
Yeah.
Hey, Burton, what do you think of otter?
Hey, what do you think? He's like, oh, please, sir. Really? Otter.
Yeah.
And then he smacks them.
And then they just fucking, Three Stooges style just pokes his eyes.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my office. His office door just says otter.
Yeah, right.
Regarding the long size of the creature, reported by Grant, it has been suggested that it was a faulty observation due to the poor light conditions. It's just... Paleontologist Darren Naish has suggested that Grant may have seen either an otter or a seal and exaggerated his sighting over time.
We all know that guy, though, right?
Yeah.
That the story
keeps
starts...
changing?
Yeah, it starts off, it's like, oh, man, I saw this snake. It was this big, man.
Yeah.
And, like, I held everyone back. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Then the next time they tell it, they're at the bar, they're like, nah, this fucker was like this.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, there was a couple chicks. I was like, yo, get back. We left, I saved them. Then it becomes like, this thing was the size of a school bus. They were topless. Saved everyone. We were making out. It was crazy, man. And then I rescued a bunch of orphans from a burning fire. People do that.
So your alien had a room at the Holiday Inn, Paramus. Okay.
Well, it might have been a spaceship made to look like Holiday Inn Paramus.
Well, and that's the problem with aliens, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now, Ken, fast forward to the next year, we get the famous surgeon's photograph. Bullshit.
1934?
1934.
Yeah.
1934. The surgeon's photograph is reportedly the first photo of the creature's head and neck, supposedly taken by Robert Kenneth Wilson, a London gynecologist. Yep. It was published in the Daily Mail on the 21st of April, 1934. Wilson's refusal to have his name associated with it led to it being known as the surgeon's photograph. According to Wilson, he was looking at the loch when he saw the monster, grabbed his camera, and snapped 4 photos. Only 2 exposures came out clearly. The first reportedly shows a small head and neck and back, and the second shows a similar head in a diving position. The first photo became well known, and the second attracted little publicity because of its blurriness. For 60 years, the photo was considered evidence of the monster's existence, although skeptics dismissed it as driftwood. An elephant, an otter, or a bird. Why would an elephant be in Scotland? In the middle of the lake?
Your guess is as good as mine, homie.
Imagine an elephant shooting ropes? That's probably fucking scary.
Yeah, have you seen Freddy Got Fingered?
That's right. R.I.P. Rip Torn. The photo scale was controversial. It is often shown cropped, making the creature seem large and the ripples like waves, while the uncropped shot shows the other end of the loch and the monster in the center. The ripples of the photo were found to fit the size and pattern of small ripples rather than large waves photographed up close. Analysis of the original image fostered further doubt. In 1993, the makers of the Discovery Communications documentary Loch Ness Discovered analyzed the uncropped image and found a white object visible in every version of the photo, implying that it was on the negative. It was believed to be the cause of the ripples, as if the object was being towed, although the possibility of a blemish on the negative could not be ruled out. An analysis of the full photograph indicated the object was small, about 2 to 3 feet long. You ready for the rest of this?
I am.
Since 1994, most agree that the photo was an elaborate hoax. It has been described as a fake in the 7th December 1975 Sunday Telegraph article that fell into obscurity. Details of how the photo was taken were published in the 1990 book Nessie, The Surgeon's Photograph Exposed, which contains a facsimile of the 1975 Sunday Telegraph article. The creature was reportedly a toy submarine built by the son-in-law of Marmaduke Wetherell. I don't know who that is, but that's a name. Sounds like someone that makes cereal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's try Marmaduke's, Frosted Flakes.
Well, yeah, the cornflakes would be all the rage.
At that time, yeah, they wouldn't go for the sugary stuff.
No, just cornflakes, straight up. Or the puffed wheat. Stuff like that, or the shredded wheat.
Do you think that was popular at St. Pete's Beach?
I think there's a lot of things popular at St. Pete's Beach.
Good call. Wetherell had been publicly ridiculed by his employer, the Daily Mail, after he found Nessie footprints that turned out to be a hoax. To get revenge on the Mail, Wetherell perpetrated his hoax with co-conspirators, a sculpture specialist, and Ian Wetherell, his son, who brought the material for the fake, and Maurice Chambers, an insurance agent. They know how to perpetrate a scam.
Oh yeah, they're grifters by nature.
By nature, yeah. So, the toy submarine was bought from a Woolworth store, and its head and neck were made from wood putty. After testing it in a local pond, the group went to Loch Ness, where Ian Wetherell took the photos near the Altsay Tea House. When they heard a water bailiff approaching. These guys, man, they're not to be fucked with. You know what? I imagine the water bailiffs are like one of those like really fucking hard guys that like roams around Bloodborne. Like, fuck, it's a water bailiff. I have to.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck, and you have to fight it.
Yeah, you're like, here's none of these hard cases coming up here. Oh.
Yeah. One of these supposed hard cunts.
Yeah.
They hear him approaching, and he's got like a big, like...
They're all played by, what's his name, Vinny, the dude, Bullet Tooth Tony. Vinny, what's his fucking last
Jones.
name? Yeah, Vinny Jones.
Yep.
They're all Vinny Jones.
Yep.
What you cunts doing it? Just like ready to throw down.
Yep, exactly. So Duke Wetherell sank the model with his foot and is presumably still somewhere in Loch Ness.
Sank the model with his foot.
That's funny because he saw, the water bailiff is coming. Quick.
Yeah. Kick that fucker down.
Yeah, I know we're doing Irish, but this is Scotland. Does it count? Does anyone even care? No.
Sorry, Rob.
Rob?
Yeah, Rob's Scottish. And he's, Rob's Scottish,
Rob's American.
You know what I mean.
Rob, you're American. Just like I'm American, and Ken's American.
Yeah, that's not what I... Never mind.
No, I know what you're saying. Fight me, Rob. I don't care.
Love you, buddy.
We love you. Douche. No, I'm just kidding, buddy. I do love you. Chambers gave the photographic plates to Wilson, a friend of his who enjoyed a good practical joke. Wilson brought the plates to Ogston's, an Inverness chemist, and gave them to George Morrison for development. He sold the first photo to the Daily Mail, who then announced that the monster had been photographed. These motherfuckers. Little is known of the second photo. It is often ignored by researchers who believe its quality too poor and its differences from the first photo too great to warrant analysis. It shows a head similar to the first photo with a more turbulent wave pattern and possibly taken at a different time and location in the loch. Some believe it to be an earlier, cruder attempt at the hoax, and others consider it a picture of a diving bird or otter that Wilson mistook for the monster. According to Morrison, when the plates were developed, Wilson was uninterested in the second photo. He allowed Morrison to keep the negative, and the photo was rediscovered years later. When asked about the second photo by the Ness Information Service newsletter, that's serious shit, was vague, though it may have been a piece of wood that was trying out as a monster, but was not sure.
Can't say. Hard to say.
Yeah, quotes from the pub. Yeah, it might have been a piece of wood that was trying out as a monster.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucking serious?
What were the nuts called? What were the nuts called? Azkaban or whatever the fuck.
Azkaban, yeah, whatever.
The Sirius Blacks.
Yep. Then comes the Taylor film. I think this is the one you may have been talking about.
Yes.
Of 1938. May 29th, 1938, South African tourist, South Africa, G.E. Taylor filmed something in the loch for 3 minutes on 16mm color film. The film was obtained by popular science writer Maurice Burton. This guy's everywhere.
Big Mo, dude.
You know what? He's the guy.
Mobo?
No, I'm just saying, like, maybe, he's like a Men in Black. MB. He's trying to keep this shit down.
So he's aware of...
Yeah. He's like, let me see the negatives. And then he, comes back, like, it's like legit. Like, it's like a picture from, like, when the T-Rex breaks out of the fucking pen.
And he has a cell phone back then. He makes a call. He's like, call Zed.
Total time traveler situation, too.
Yeah,
We're going to do an episode on that, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's what happened there. He was like, okay, let me see the photo. Yeah, oh, man, this is great. And he's like, he sculpts something out of fucking clay. He just throws a stick in the water, takes a picture. He's like, yeah, this is what they gave me.
Well, yeah, he's got Indrid Cold in the back in the cut, fabricating things for him. He's like, here you go, and because he's an intergalactic, bounty hunter who ended up working with the Men in Black.
Okay, I could go with it.
I mean, because he's got all kinds of skills, that Indrid,
He does, but I don't want to speak for him because,
he's fake.
He gets angry.
He's fake.
Well, he's fake. So Maurice did not show it to the other researchers. A single frame was published in his 1961 book, The Elusive Monster. His analysis concluded it was a floating object, not an animal. 1938 as well, in August of that year, William Fraser, a chief constable of Inverness-shire, wrote a letter that the monster existed beyond a shadow of a doubt and expressed concern after a hunting party that had arrived with custom-made harpoon gun, these jokers,
I like it,
determined to catch the monster dead or alive. He believed his power to protect the monster from the hunters was very doubtful.
All these guys pikeys, they're all like pikeys, right? From Snatch.
I
They're
think
all
so.
like,
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
harpoon gun,
Yeah,
they're ready.
probably.
And then it's attached to the caravan,
Probably.
the caravan will...
Yeah, it's behind it. It's like a
Yeah.
fucking G.I. Joe vehicle. There's
Right.
a giant fucking dart.
Yep,
It's
yep.
red. Sonar readings in December of 1954. You all right? You're not ready for those 1-2s?
No, it was a great segue, man.
Nice. Sonar readings were taken by the fishing boat Rival 3. Its crew noted a large object keeping pace with the vessel at a depth of 146 meters, 479 feet. It was detected before contact was lost and regained. Previous sonar attempts were inconclusive or negative. That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Like, that's, if you have sonar and there's something following it,
Yeah.
that suggests to me...
It's not something adrift at 400 and, however many some odd feet.
No, unless some joker up there was, like, reading the boat.
Yeah, opposite. Yeah.
You just needed some guy like, you're just reading the boat, you
It's
asshole.
upside down.
Yeah. Fuck. Peter McNabb, 1955. All right. Of Urquhart Castle. I don't know.
I'll take it, though. It's a castle.
Took a photograph that depicted 2 long black humps in the water. The photograph was not made public until it appeared on Constance White's 1956 book on the subject. I don't know who she is, and I don't know the book. On the 23rd of October, 1958...
It's not over there somewhere?
No, I don't have that one. No, there's too many of them. It was published by the Weekly Scotsman. Wrote that the phenomenon which McNabb photographed could easily be a wave effect resulting from 3 trawlers traveling closely together up the loch. Other researchers consider the photograph a hoax. Roy Mackle requested to use the photograph in his 1976 book. He received the original negative from McNabb, but discovered it different from the photograph that appeared in White's book.
Huh.
The tree at the bottom left in White's was missing from the negative.
Big Mo's at it again.
He is. It is suspected that the photograph was doctored by rephotographing a print.
Shiesty motherfucker.
I know. Aeronautical engineer Tim Dinsdale
TNT.
filmed a hump that left a wake crossing Loch Ness in 1960. I gotta be honest, because there's a few of these. These hump ones don't convince me of anything.
No, because it could be any kind of inner tube that's way down by a rock. And back then, in those, from what? Let's say from, 1890 until 1970, people are still using, those big black inner tubes.
Yeah.
That look like tires.
Yeah.
To do any kind of, water floating. And, all it takes is something to get tangled up in that.
I hear you, man. It's just, I think this subject, just like a lot of these subjects, just attracts all the lunatics.
Well, what we do attracts all the lunatics,
So, this one's one of my favorites.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yay!
Yay!
May 21st, 1977. Anthony Doc Shields, camping next to Urquhart Castle. Oh, I know what that is. That's that one. There's on the loch, there's a castle.
Yeah,
and that's the one they're talking about.
Right.
Took some of the clearest pictures of the monster until this day. Shields, a magician and psychic.
There's the monster hanging. He's like...
Claimed to have summoned the animal out of the water. He later described it as an elephant squid.
Elephant squid. New one. There it is. New one.
That's like essentially Cthulhu.
Count it. Elephant squid. We got it. Elephant squid.
Yeah.
Is that Cthulhu?
Basically, think of an elephant's body and then put a squid head on it.
Right, but doesn't Cthulhu
Minus
have,
the
like,
wings.
Right, but he has like
Yeah, he has arms, hands.
he doesn't have like the big old.
I didn't say it was
stompers.
correct, like to the. Just if you showed me an elephant squid, I'd be like, is that Cthulhu?
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying. This
You
guy's a
would
clown.
know. You would know. Yeah, sure.
Claiming,
Well, he's a magician and a psychic.
that's magical, truly.
Hey, you want magic?
Yeah.
Go watch Michael fucking Carbonara, right?
All right. He has quite an effect. Claiming the long neck shown in the photograph is actually the squid's trunk, and that a white spot at the base of the neck is its eye. Due to the lack of ripples, it has been declared a hoax by a number of people and received its name because of its staged look.
I love that that's what did it. The lack of ripples.
Yeah.
Where them go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey. He's like, well, with my mind, I stopped the ripples to get
Yeah.
a clear picture.
That's how I summon it. It doesn't,
Then we go all the way, takes a while, all the way to 2007, the so-called Holmes video. On May 26th, 2007, 55-year-old laboratory technician Gordon Holmes videotaped what he says was this jet black thing, about 46 feet long, moving fairly fast in the water. Adrian Shine, a marine biologist at the Loch Ness 2000 Center in town I can't pronounce, described the footage as among the best footage I've ever seen. BBC Scotland broadcast the video on May 29, 2007. They aired the footage a few nights later and interviewed Holmes, and Shine was also interviewed, the marine biologist, and he suggested that it was also either an otter, seal, or water bird.
There it is. Mm-hmm. It's like Mothman, the, what was the crane? The
Sandhill crane?
Sandhill crane.
Yeah.
Or the owl, the other,
There's a few more in here that are just as ridiculous, and they're just like, they're waves.
yeah.
One almost looks like a manatee that they said, and the guy was like, oh, and then, but there's nothing to like say that it was taken in Loch Ness, so somebody thinks that they took a picture of a manatee somewhere and said, oh, I took this in Loch Ness.
Yeah,
But
sure.
what about those palm fronds? Yeah, they're weird.
Palm fronds.
Yeah.
Well,
Like in Florida.
sure.
Tropical environment.
Yeah. Well, do you, oh God, I used to watch this every day after work where I was like making cigarettes after work, waiting to pick up Brit.
Yeah.
And Paranormal Caught on Tape on Travel Channel. You want to talk about a slew of fake shit every episode.
That's what the whole show is.
But then they'll sometimes they'll get a classic, right? And you're like,
Sometimes.
They're like, I know this one,
Yeah.
I've never seen one on there that I didn't already know.
Like the Walkers. How many times has that been on there? Yeah.
Yeah. But so there was one guy, this guy. This guy's a fucking loon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was some kind of doctor, but he wasn't like. So he's like missing all his teeth. He's obviously recording on his phone, like on his bed against the wall, and he's got his fucking hair, big old beard, an unkempt fellow,
Yeah.
He's very, very, very uncouth, and he's just talking about. He's like, he almost like goes into like it's like a religious experience or the greatest experience of his life.
Okay.
And he caught this video that's real far away, and it's another one with the wake, and like you don't really see anything. You're just seeing a wake, and you see the front of it, right? And you just see that it's a large wake.
Okay.
And there's obviously a creature moving because of the motion it's taking. Mm-hmm. Could be a whole litany of things, but he's like talking about it like, I'm so grateful it shared its experience and existence with me, and I'm just sitting there like, fucking jag off, existence jag off.
Yeah, well, some people get very, they try to add that personal angle to make it seem like very believable. Another favorite of mine was the Apple Maps photograph from 2014, where like people thought, oh, that looks like the Loch Ness monster, and then you look at it for more than a few seconds. It's like, because some of those Apple Maps or even some of those like Google Earth pictures, like if a boat was going, it can do this weird thing.
Right.
Like if you look in the water, and sometimes they just copy and paste squares because it's like, we're not going to photograph the entire ocean.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because that's where the Atlanteans live. They can't let that come out. Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, it's on the wall behind me.
Did I just blow your guys' minds?
Yo, use guys. How you minds doing? Use guys.
So that was a fun one. And then there was the 2015 Google Street View. They had them. Yeah, it was another.
I mean, so I remember being.
I want it to be in there, man.
Yeah, sure. I remember being a kid, And the Loch Ness Monster was one of those things that was widely talked about, as well as the Bermuda Triangle and quicksand, right? As a kid, you know, it was like, these are dangerous things that, you know, that exist in the world. You know, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? No, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen a bunch of, and that pisses me off too. The idea of like, I can get behind the idea of when cameras weren't readily available, and it's pictures, right? You just get pictures, right? Look, nowadays, everyone's got a fucking, you know.
And now there's no photos.
Yeah. Well, right. But not just that. There are still some, but the whole thing is, it's like, if you're seeing some, the same time it gets to get your photo, like, you have fucking Sony productions, you know, in your pocket now.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, you're like, oh, there's more of these, you know, like.
So it's Morbid time.
Yeah, it's more of a time.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a picture of the Loch Ness Monster, but with one of those, like, those doggy filters where they have the ears and the like. That's then I'll believe. Like,
right.
wow, that's
because it was able to put that on there. Right.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it sucks. It does suck because, like, I think there's something in there we don't know. Probably a giant serpent of some sort. You know?
Maybe. I mean,
it's a big fucking loch.
It is. You know, but there's that thing that they discuss where it's like, you know, the ecosystem of that lake probably couldn't support a predator of that size.
Right.
So that, like, in turn, most biologists don't even look at it. They're like, yeah, here's what's in that lake. Would not support this. And it's not one of them in there, right? Like we said, it's not some fucking dragon that lives down there guarding its gold or some shit. It's not really that.
I know.
Yeah, I wish it was.
Yeah. It's funny, though, that how, like, the Loch Ness Monster is, like, spawned, like, you know, Champ in Lake Champlain. And,
and Ogopogo.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
like and we've even talked about, you know, in our previous episode, in
Mokele and Bembe.
Yeah, Mokele and Bembe.
That one, those are independent.
Sure, but I'm saying the you know, like, I'm not going to say that one spawned that one, but all the, you know, of course, America, we gotta, like, rip monsters off. You know, we need you know, we need some monsters over here, man. That we only have Bigfoot. You know, we need.
Got the Jersey Devil.
Right. Yeah.
We've got some weird goblins and some aliens from time to time. We've got some Mothman.
True. I spoke too hastily there. Excuse me.
We have the Dogman. We have werewolves.
Yeah, but the werewolves is, you know, we took that.
Yeah, but a Dogman, meaning like it's a more, you know. Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you what
Skinwalkers.
What is purported to be at. That's more supernatural. I'm talking about like animals.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I want beastly creatures running around out there.
Right.
I want it.
I do.
Like, I want to be like, hey, there's a monster alert today. Stay in your fucking house. And you look out your windows and some fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Like we were talking about with the werewolf episode.
Yeah. Although, like I said, they would be more mundane at this point.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, oh, really? Could you just look closer to the camera and you shoot the silver spray into its face? Yeah, it'd be no problem.
Right. Well, if that was the Loch Ness Monster, like if, you know, you're living in that castle and it's like, Nessie's at it again. It's taking out, you know, the bridge over the moat.
Yeah, they would have killed it a long time ago. Just motherfucker.
They probably did. If it existed, that fucker's dead.
Was that Maurice Burton? Is that what he did? He came out there?
Big Mo. Yeah, well, that's all the reports. He you know.
Here's what happened.
He quashed it all. Okay.
Here's what happened. Maurice Burton is one of the Men in Black. They need to take care of this thing. They don't have the firepower or the wherewithal to take out a giant sea serpent. Who do they call? The two intergalactic motherfuckers. Zip Zap and Gleep Glurp. They come down in their classic, you know, silver disc with the dome on the top.
Bumping regulators.
Yeah.
Yep.
Down up.
Yep.
And
they high five hard as shit.
Yep. They come in over the lake, the Loch. They use their tractor beam, pull it out, and they're just gone.
And you know, they didn't kill it.
No,
he's partying with them now.
Oh yeah, no, he's in their, like, you know, intergalactic menagerie that they have.
They hooked their communicator onto his neck.
Yeah, they can talk now.
Yeah, they can all talk to him.
Like what's that from? That one Pixar movie where the dogs can talk.
Oh, Up.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I want to go to that zoo. That's where all the cryptids are. Zip Zapping Gleep Glorp. They have a cryptid zoo.
They work for the zoo. You know, they're the cool employees.
Okay, they're the wranglers.
Yeah, right.
Okay, they're like the Muldoon in Jurassic Park. Yes. Yeah. Yes, they have the same shorts too. That's my truth.
Yeah, I mean, you
of
speak
the thing
it.
I just made up.
You speak it, and that's how most people's truths.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Microchips in the vaccines.
Relax, bro. That's real. Okay.
I am relaxed. You're the one that fucking blasted out into laughter. All right, so I just want to
Fuck off, dude. I'm like supporting you. Yeah. Relax. Yeah.
hand me a beer.
All right, Daddy. You got it, Daddy.
Sponsored by Miller High Life.
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
wish,
guys.
but not.
Thanks for the sponsorship.
Yeah.
I had to pay $20 for it. Thanks for the sponsorship.
They sponsor you to come over.
It's true.
It is true. So there's a few things that I kind of found interesting. Some of the misidentification of known animals, which
Sure.
I think is probably the most plausible thing aside from wood. We've got bird wakes, which are either a bird, they have how their head goes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then they're either going fast or they land and they have that wake behind it. So almost
Sure.
looks like a serpent kind of look. That's
Sure.
plausible, especially if you're drunk, which the entire country is drunk, right?
That's probably it.
Right? Then we have eels, which are there are very many large eels in the loch, but they're like a fish. They move like
Right.
this, and there's not enough that would be like, okay, that's a fucking plesiosaur out
You
there.
ever go fishing and catch an eel?
Yeah, they're fucking
Oh,
weird.
it's a nightmare. It's
Yeah.
a nightmare. They tangle up.
Yep.
You have to cut the line. You have to. Oh my god.
Yeah, and they're more berserk than like a fish because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and they're fucking weird looking.
And you know what's funny too? They exist a lot of time in pits.
Yes,
Like you'll hit an eel pit,
yeah.
and all them moving together. That might look like some fucking giant serpentine creature.
I'm just calling it now. If I ever become a supervillain, I'm going to call my lair the Eel Pit. What do you think?
I'm in, dude.
Cool. Then we have the elephant explanation.
Stupid.
Escape from a circus? The fuck are we talking about, guys?
Are there even circuses in Scotland?
There were. There had to have been.
Where?
I don't know. I don't have the facts.
I don't feel like the Scottish like circuses.
What do you think they were into? It's just the Highlanders just running around cutting their heads,
Well,
heads
you
off?
cut, that's you know with the you know the progression. It's like that kind of thing. What they like doing, getting drunk and fighting.
All right.
You have
I
a
mean,
circus around a bunch of
What
guys.
if? Hold on. We'll dovetail those two together. They love fighting. Have had enough fighting each other. They're like, what the fuck can we fight that will probably fuck us up, but it'll be like a good challenge for us?
An elephant.
An elephant.
Yeah, right.
So Scott's
Rob, let us know.
Rob, you ever fight an elephant? You ever pull Conan and punch out a fucking
when
elephant?
you were in the Navy, did you,
Any monsters seen during the Navy there, Rob?
hey, what did you have a ghost ray? They haven't got to us, Rob. We need it. Dick.
Yep. Now, here's one of my favorite, because I actually just watched this the other day, the Greenland shark. Now, Jeremy Wade, when he came to the lake, this is what he posited as an idea what it could be. So, Jeremy Wade investigated the creature in 2013 as part of his series River Monsters, and concluded that it was a Greenland shark. The
that
Greenland
guy so
shark,
much.
dude, that show,
Well, literally, the reason that show ended,
yeah.
he caught everything. That's fact. Everything that was purported to be uncatchable,
Yeah. He caught it, yeah. I know.
and they had to end the show.
Yeah. Well, he went everywhere. So then
He is
I love that show.
Ah.
But then he has the other ones where it's just like crazy stories, and he kind of just
Right.
like talks about it a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, no. If you haven't watched that, River Monsters is fucking awesome. Just so you know, 60% of the fish are catfish.
Right.
A different type of catfish.
Yeah.
Because they're awful.
Some of them have like armor skin.
Yeah.
Some of them are different colors. They have like poison barbs.
Yeah. Or the one with the giant sturgeon. You see that one? It's like South America. He goes to this fucking lake that's in the middle of nowhere, and
Where
there's
they-
sturgeon that are like 10 feet
Is
long.
that the one where he killed the kid, his brother, like
think
tried to
so.
save him?
I
Yeah,
think
he
so,
grabbed
yeah.
his toe. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then like they found people in their stomachs and shit. It's
Yep.
like, dude,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yep.
That's a fucking sea monster. You don't need this shit.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
Go watch River Monsters.
Yeah. So he suggested, it was the Greenland shark, which can reach up to 20 feet in length and inhabits the North Atlantic Ocean around Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, and possibly Scotland. It is dark in color with a small dorsal fin. According to biologist Bruce Wright, the Greenland shark could survive in freshwater, possibly using rivers and lakes to find food, and Loch Ness has an abundance of salmon and other fish. So there's like other underground, like there's underwater caves that go out to the ocean, apparently. So, no good? Awful. Hit a spot?
Oh yeah.
So they could be coming in, and those are. You ever see a Greenland shark? They're fucking weird looking. So I like that, and I think when he, if he says it,
Yeah.
I think what did he do? He jumped out of his rowboat, swam down there, found one, put it in a fucking headlock, and brought it up and like interviewed it in front of the mic. He's
Yeah.
like, "What is it? Fucking you?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you doing this? And it's like, Jesus, man, I'm just.
Just doing what I did to
Yeah.
be a fucking shark."
Yeah.
He just fucking hit it again and threw it
He's
back
like,
in the water.
think about it next time. It's
Yeah.
it, you know.
He's so good.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then there's also the Wells catfish, because in July 2015, 3 news outlets reported that Steve Feltham, after a vigil at the loch that was recognized by the Guinness World Book of Records, theorized that the monster is an unusually large specimen of Wells catfish, which may have been released during the late 19th century. Hey man, you put them in a lake, you could have some giant catfish.
Sure. Well, and they travel in like schools, you know, like it could be like once again, like it could be a bunch of these giant fucking things together. You know what I mean?
Yep. Other than that, it's just either you got the hoaxes, and then you have those misidentification of animals, or it's like folklore impinging on people's ideas and like,
sure,
dude, if you live in front of that lake, you know, people. This is the old world. You know, people have been there forever. You know, hey,
to be alive in those times.
Yeah. There with your chainmail and your sword.
Well, for that being in a cemetery on Halloween night.
Right. Yeah. Do me a favor, watch The Northman, because there's a scene that
I was gonna watch it last night, but I had a nightmare scenario.
Relax.
And you relax.
I am relaxed.
How are you?
Yes. Sorry. So I think it really, and then you have that, and then you have that whole thing I was talking about. There's the Kelpie myth, which, you know, it comes to those creatures that are seals that can turn into humans, and then there's
so much I can tell you some.
Sure, and then there's also the idea of the water horse, which is another.
Yes, yeah, that like coaxes you into riding it and then just goes right into the lakes.
Yes,
and takes you with it, and you're like, fuck.
Well, Scotland has a lot of, you know, water-based creatures because, you know, it's on an island.
Yeah. So.
And then I think that the hoaxes kind of just really muddied the water, really.
With all of it.
Yep.
With all of it.
So, in all honesty, and, you know, throwing all the, you know, the fun stuff aside, could a plesiosaur still be alive today? No. It's just, I would love for it to be out there. Hey, the ocean's crazy, but for one, let's say one kind of weird creature got stuck in there in the lake for a small amount of time, and people saw it. Maybe something crazy happened back in 565 AD. Like, heck, we don't know. Those were different times.
Yeah, those
I imagine I haven't played the game, but I imagine that the Earth was just Elden Ring back then.
Dude,
there's just monsters roaming around.
Dude, Elden Ring is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
and it's just you gotta come over one day and I'll just play it while you watch.
Yeah, I'll just watch you get like upset.
I don't do that anymore. I don't get upset.
Oh no?
I just win. I was talking to my buddy, who's a listener, Brett Bannon. He's my From Software gaming buddy, because you know everyone else, you know, me and him talk about this. So he just got moved to a shift that's closer to mine, and I saw me and I was like, yo. I was like, I know you played Elden Ring. He's like, yeah. I was like, how many times you beat it? He's like, 3. I was like, same. All right, nice. And then we were just talking about our subclasses and what we did. Mm-hmm. My third run through, because I was a strength and dexterity build.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the magic abilities. I just got so strong that I just started using magic.
Yeah.
And I would just go in the bosses, send a clone out, and just start killing them with my magic from afar. Sorry, I'm a nerd, guys. Elden Ring's a great game. It has nothing to do with the Loch Ness Monster. There's beasts. All right. Beep, 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 boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those ones where I love this one. Like, it's Loch Ness Monster, and like,
yeah.
But this is one of the ones that you look into, and it's just like, I want it to be real, but it's like, it's a folklore creature.
It truly is.
You know?
And there's a movie that does a really good job of making it seem real. Have you ever seen The Incident at Loch Ness, the 2004 Werner Herzog film?
No.
It's a found footage movie. There's an actor that pretends he plays Brett Ratner, like, you know, the Hollywood guy.
Okay.
Oh, it's great.
I've never even heard
You
of it.
never? I'm going to have to get it out of the place.
All right, yeah. Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I love these things, and I wish they did exist. I think they, like we just said, are more of a folklore kind of thing, but they stir the imagination, especially if kids, you know, fucking dinosaur in a lake, let's have it. But, you know, you get older, the world gets smaller, and it's, you know...
Comes way less mystical.
Yeah, no, I truly love this kind of idea that these lake monsters could exist, but, you know, where are they? At this point, it would have been like, hey, about 150 years ago, there was this weird thing living in there, but fishermen fucking caught it, killed it, and here's pictures of it, and just Yeah, catch him and kill him. And here's its skeleton, which is on display in here. What do we think it is? Oh, it's some kind of weird marine reptile that we really don't know about. Hey, maybe there's more out there. That it would be like that.
Yeah, and the only place where this kind of concept could exist is out in the ocean, like the deep, like
Right.
we just got confirmation about the giant squid. You know,
Right.
we just got that in the last 20 years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's been there's drawings on pirate ships, you know, from forever ago, but we just like that in the water, like
Don't start. The ocean's terrifying.
oh, it's so terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, the giant jellyfish fucking bug me even more though, because like you just be swimming along, and then you just get caught in its tentacles and you just die.
Well, the picture of that giant squid in Japan, the one.
Oh, the
like,
recent one that just came. Did you see the one from like a couple weeks ago?
No.
It came to the surface and was like fucking around a little bit, and fishermen pulled it so it could go back to the water. Like usually you see them, they're all fucked up because they're red in color, and like some of their skin is usually falling off because when they come to the surface, they're coming to die. Maybe like maybe a sperm whale fucked it up,
right?
Or like because that's they're menacing to smaller fish, but like. You see those things of like the sperm whale fighting the giant squid. They're not fighting. It's the sperm whale eating that fucking thing.
Yeah.
They're not.
Well, I have another one of my phobias, guys. That things that are way too big.
Yeah.
You know, I forget what it's called. Something blah, blah, blah. But
Titanophobia.
I guess, yeah, that sounds right. But I also have some mechanophobia.
Oh, that I do too.
But seeing that, see how giant the head is in the shape. But then when you see those sharp angles.
Yeah.
Of the tentacles that just are so long.
Oh yeah. 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 It's scary.
Mother Nature sucks.
Well, we're not supposed to be in the ocean. That's why.
That's
It's
right.
fucking
True.
scary.
Just why we shouldn't be in space or going into caves. And
Caves.
spelunkers, don't start.
Well,
Anywho,
at least it's on Earth.
True.
Like, it's on the ground. You're going and space. Yeah. More of that.
you guys are insane.
What are you talking about? The fucking Artemis project is about to fucking kick off.
Yeah, but you use space
Going back to the
modifiers.
moon and then eventually into Mars.
Ugh.
I want to see the first astronaut to be like Arnold, like on foot. Oh,
Do you think
fucking
you
thing
think
breaks.
there's like
Yeah, exactly.
2 weeks? Do you think there are cryptids on other planets like a Nessie?
Yes, I hope so.
Because there's their
Like
normal
on
rays.
one of the 70 moons that
Yeah.
orbit Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be there. In my mind, they're there.
Yeah, it's good.
And you know what? That's all that really matters.
Yeah, right. Your truth, right?
That's my truth.
That's how it works now. Final closing statements here on Nessie?
Final closing statements would love it to be real, but unfortunately I don't think it is. But you know what? People believe in shit that's not real all the time. So if you want to believe it, go for it.
Man, nice. Support your mania.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess my closing statements are there is something in there. It's not a police use.
No. There was something in there, then Jeremy fucking Wade scared it away.
Right, or Big Mo came and... Or no, Zip Zap and Gleep Glurp.
Those intergalactic motherfuckers.
Intergalactic motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Listening to 90s hip-hop, just
Yeah.
tear-assing through the universe.
I heard they were the original inspirations for 90s hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah, just as, aliens came down and manipulated the DNA of
Yes.
primates.
Yes.
They came back.
No, bro, they got shrooms and now they're,
Well, yeah, Zip Zap and Gleep Glurp came back in the early 90s and were like,
now you're ready for this.
yeah, like,
Yep. They gave all the hip hop guys that were just doing still the older 80s
well, how do you
bounce
think,
around shit.
How do you think Tupac took that turn into being the greatest?
No, they brought
He
down
was
some.
a dancer for Digital Underground, you
Yeah.
know, and all of a sudden, he's
been
the
all
best.
around the world.
Yeah, right. All of a sudden.
Yeah, they gave him some space drugs, altered his DNA and everybody else's, and then we got the Chronic, we got Doggy Style, we got Warren G showed up.
Ready to
Dogg.
die, life after death.
Yep. It's a good time.
It was a great time.
It was. Now not so much.
Well, Nessie.
Nessie, I hope you're enjoying your days at the Intergalactic Zoo.
Yep. And
But-
if you're still in Loch Ness,
Yep.
just have a good day.
Yeah.
Just relax. You
Yeah.
know, everyone's looking for you.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Just bounce that wet ass around. It's
Yeah.
all
It's a 90s hip hop.
good. Wet because she's in the water.
Yes.
Don't be shooting any ropes on
Yeah,
Nessie's
holy
big wet
ropes.
ass.
Yeah. All right, guys. So for that,
That's my real closing statement.
yeah, right. He got one in at the end. But for for this episode of Other Dangerous Podcast, I'm Ken James,
And I'm Jason McKittrick.
and as always, have a spooky evening. Thank you for listening to Other Dangerous Podcasts. Have you encountered the other dangers? If so, you can email us at otherdangerouspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to have a discussion about the paranormal, you can find us at Other Dangerous Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. There you can find submitted pictures, videos, and artwork from listeners. We are now streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else podcasts are streamed. And after listening, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you the other dangers.